We promised to introduce you to more of the statues on Prague's Charles Bridge. Except for Christ himself, there is no one more important than St. John of Nepomuk. Sometimes we call him the five-star general of Catholic saints because of those 5 stars around his head. And he was the very first to be installed in 1683 in the bridge's gallery of saints. You can actually see the whole story in the plinth below the statue. You can see Nepomuk in the background and his role as confessor to the Queen of Bohemia. There is an interesting mirror between the foreground and the background with this guard and his dog. Since the dog is the ultimate symbol of loyalty, there's a little bit of an implication that maybe the Queen of Bohemia is not quite so loyal to her master, which is the king. On the other side of the plinth, you get the whole rest of the story. King Wenceslas IV demanded that Nepomuk tell him what the Queen had said in confession. Of course, he refused to do that. Confession is a sacrament of the Church. In a rage, Wenceslas had Nepomuk tortured, thrown off the very bridge that we are standing on, and when his drowned body rose from the Vltava River, those stars were around him. The legend is great storytelling, but what I find even more fascinating is that the cult of John of Nepomuk was promoted in part to counter the massive following of Jan Hus, the Czech Protestant Reformer. So how do you fight a tremendously charismatic figure like Jan Hus, followed by thousands, with another incredibly charismatic figure, especially a local Czech saint like Nepomuk, who is martyred defending the very church ritual, confession, that was most despised by the reformers? Nepomuk became so important to the Counter-Reformation that his tomb is the most ornate in St. Vitus Cathedral in Prague Castle behind me, and you find him standing guard on bridges throughout Central Europe as the patron saint of bridges.